do is just cover it with newspaper. We're just taking pieces of newspaper and taping it across the truck, like the area that you think you'll get overspray on.
You have to cover the rotor or drum or whatever you have on your car. You just take a trash bag, you have to rip it down one side. Basically, you'll be able to now wrap it around. You go through one wheel spoke and pull it down and through the same wheel spoke. I got big holes, so it's kind of easier. Now it's wrapped. You kind of want to push it away from the wheel so it doesn't stick to your painting. Good to go. So next thing is to you can put index cards, which is typically the easiest route. Then it doesn't get on your tire. It stays on your rim, and you just pull these out when you're done. We've done a couple other cars. The index cards stay pretty easily. For some reason, my truck it's proving pretty difficult. Which actually, this wheel is working out not too bad. The front wheel over there is but kind of have to wedge them right in that gap. These are just cheap Dollar Tree index cards.
So this is super helpful. This is like $2.05 at Walmart, and this is like a little nozzle with a trigger on it, and you just slide it. Oh wait, there we go. Okay, so yeah, you just slide it right on there. Yeah, and then adjust the front of it so that it's on top of the trigger, and you shake it up, and then you can go ahead and spray it. Without this, your fingers get super sore. I literally used every single finger the first time I Plasti dipped, so we'll see how this works out. So we have our first coat finished. Now you want to make sure that you wait 10 minutes in between each coat. So what I tend to do is start with the wheel. I'll make my way around the vehicle, and then if 10 minutes is up, then I'll start with wheel number 1 again. If not, I'll wait a few minutes and then go back ahead and start my rotation again. Also probably need like 1 can per every wheel that you're doing. And if you're doing just emblems, you probably need less than a can. And this thing is super helpful. This is the first time that I've used this, and this is so much better than just the bottle by itself. So you also want to make sure that you do 4 to 5 coats. The more coats you put on, the easier it's going to be to take off. So if you're just doing this to preserve your rims, or if you're doing this knowing that you might want to change the color, or if you take it to get your tires replaced and they messed up the Plasti dip, if you have a nice thick coat on your rims, it'll peel off so easily. And if you don't have it thick enough, what's going to happen is when you peel it off, it's just going to chip, and you're going to have little chips everywhere, and it makes it an absolute nightmare to get the Plasti dip off. So you can put as many coats as you want. Just do like a thin coat when you first start off, and then make it thicker and thicker and thicker as you go. The more coats, the thicker it's going to get, and like I said, the easier it will be to pull it off. You want to make sure that you're getting all the nooks and crannies really well. Getting all these little spots up here. And the farther away you hold it, the more spread out the spray is going to be. The closer you hold it, the more concentrated it's going to end up. So we just finished our 5th coat. This is what it looks like wet, and then when it dries, it'll be a little bit more matte. If you want a glossy finish, they have clear glossy Plasti dips that you can put right over this. You can do a couple coats of that. However, I like the matte, so we're sticking with the matte. I have done both. The glossy looks great as well, just a matter of preference. We Plasti dipped this almost 2 years ago. So you can really see how it's held up. It's held up really, really well, like even in the center and everything. Like you can see that there's no tears or no dents or like anything inside of that. This one did get a little bit scratched just because my husband backed into a bush a little bit. But I mean, other than that, for being on for 2 years, and that's how it still looks. We also did the bow tie on the front of the truck. I mean, it looks great for being on there for 2 years. So this stuff is amazing if you haven't tried it yet. I love this. I would totally plasti up a whole vehicle. I think this stuff is really awesome. It will last a long time. As long as you do it right the first time, you're golden. So if you live up north, that's great, or if you live by the beach, that's great because you can actually preserve your rims with this stuff. And I also wanted to mention it is super cost effective. The cans are only like $5 a can. We'll come back and see how the rims look when they're all dry, and then we'll be all done. So now we're just taking the index cards off, and then voila.
I'm gonna be careful the plastic dip doesn't stick to them, or it'll
Pull your
pull
plasti
off
dip.
all your hard work.
And there you have it. Some new rims.